top 2025 anime. I'm gonna do a list. I'm gonna start by telling you what is not going on this list. Sequels are not going on my list here. Maybe I'll do a separate list for that. But Sakamoto Days, Fire Force. What else? Kaiju number 8. There's probably a lot more that I'm not thinking of. My Hero for sure. All stuff I've watched and I really like, but just not gonna include it in this list just to keep it fair. Those shows have been put on, so many lists over the course of them coming out. Yeah, I'll start with some honorable mentions, I guess. This was a weird season because I think a lot of shows came out that were okay. I don't think there were a ton of powerhouse shows this year outside of the sequels, like Don Da Don, My Hero. Those, I think those were amazing, but just they're just sequels. So I'll just go through. May I ask for one final thing? I think that show's hilarious. I think it's a great show. Kind of like a spin on the villainess stuff. And if you like web novels or webtoons, that show will definitely be your thing. One of the best of the genre, I think. Yeah. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Another great show. A lot of good feelings from that show, and yeah, just one of those like generic romance shows, but it just did everything right, I think. So yeah, kind of weird to include just like I don't know, it's just like a generic romance, but like I said, it just does everything right. Ganosia, honestly, one of like my at least in terms of the honorable mentions list, one of my favorite shows. Among Us, lol, I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun, it's silly, it's beautiful, it's very beautiful. SQ, if you know, you know. Rock is a Lady's Modesty, another God, this show could be so amazing. What an amazing show. I love that show. The obvious glaring issue is the CG music scenes, and they're terrible. It's terrible. It takes away from the show. It's really bad. If it didn't have that, this show would be up there with Bochi, in my opinion. It's very amazing. Like, I don't know. It's amazing. It's a great show. I have Bond on this list. Bond was amazing. An amazing little one shot. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, if it was longer, it's in the top 10 for sure. Beautifully done, beautiful story. It looks amazing. Not much else to say. Clevitus I have on this list. I did not finish. I can't put it in my top 10. But it's a good show. I don't know. I could recommend it to people. Zenchu. I wanted to include that. I know a lot of people like this show. I wasn't the biggest fan of Zenchu, but I think it was a pretty good show. Lord of Mysteries. I want to put this on my list so bad. I think the story could be so amazing. I think there's a lot that could be done, and there's a lot to do from the source material. It's just the pacing, and I think there's a lot of material to put into this show from the source material, and I can see why it would be very hard to do all that. The old guy Swordmaster. I don't remember the name of the show. I think it's a light novel. I'm not looking up the name of the show. Pretty cool. Just a general pretty cool show. And Shirley, I didn't watch it, but it looked somewhat interesting. I've heard good things from other people, so that's making it to the honorable mention list. The 100 Girlfriends. I watched like 2 episodes. I hate it. I'm not a harem. I'm not a mech fan. I'm not a mecha fan. I'm not a harem fan. So those 2 shows, or those two genres. This show did not make it. And then my last honorable mention I'm putting on here, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of things, but that's okay. It's not going to be perfect. Sanda is my last honorable mention. I think this show is really cool. The animation's really cool. There's a lot going on, which I think is pretty cool. Like a holiday political romance kind of situation. It's a mystery. Like, I don't know. A lot going on in Sanda, but it was good. It's pretty good. All right. In terms of the actual list, number 10, I'm giving to Lazarus. And I don't know if everyone would agree with that, but that's okay. It's my list. Ha ha ha. Lazarus was cool for me. I think it really did capture some of the Cowboy Bebop vibes. And I would definitely recommend it to anyone that liked Cowboy Bebop. Or Samurai Champloo, of course. I mean, I have to add the caveat that it's just simply not those shows. I think the major flaw with Lazarus is that it is just simply not those shows. But I think the choreography is cool, the animation's pretty cool. It does leave a lot to be desired, but it's still cool. Yeah, and I liked it a lot. Number 9, for me this season, I've got Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider's sick. Kamen Rider might be the dumbest show that I have ever watched. It is so dumb. Kamen Rider is so stupid. But I love it. It's so funny. Kamen Rider's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that they use the exact same sound on the cuts. The music is like hilariously good. It's so funny how good the music is. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's so funny to me. A Kamen Rider at 9 is just, I had to include Kamen Rider. It's kind of giving like One Punch Man or Mob Psycho, but I mean, nowhere near the level of those shows, but still, such a good show for me. It's so funny. 8, I've got Cool Generic Romance. It was a cool show. I really liked it. The romance was really great. The female lead is incredible in my opinion. Yeah, Kulon is just a vibe. You just get to go back in time, smoke cigarettes everywhere you go, have silly street food all the time. It's just an absolute vibe. And if you like shows that have like chill romance, and adult romance, I don't mean that in the bad way. I just mean not a high school or even college romance situation. Sometimes there's like a hole in the romance section for actual adults like working jobs and such, and this show definitely fills that hole, which I like that a lot. Number 7 on my list, I've got Moonrise. Moonrise is a show that I heard nothing about before it came out. It kind of caught the wind when it came out. Kinda. I still feel like I didn't hear that much about Moonrise, but it was a pretty good Netflix show. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Just a cool sci-fi political show. Really good animation, and I think one of the things the show lacked was just that I did not enjoy the characters so much. The characters weren't as cool, but I think if the characters were cooler, the show could be a lot higher up. I think the animation and the animation style, the art in the show, and just the whole vibe of the political drama going on here was really awesome. So yeah. held back a little bit by its characters, but pretty good. Number 6 on here, I've got Witch Watch. A hilarious show. There's so few shows that are funny, to me. And yeah, Witch Watch is hilarious. I think it's cute. It's funny. What else do you want, really? Like, it's just so good. So many shows try to be comedy, and they're just not funny. And Witch Watch just has some hilarious bits. I also like that it's got the kind of like a Gintama style of like where it's episodic, kind of, but there's also like an overarching plot going on here. I think pretty much all of the characters that they introduce are pretty hilarious, and just I'm a big fan. Number 5, I have To Be Hero. To Be Hero is just so revolutionary, I guess. The switching up of animation styles, the Chinese origin. I think we all had to look, if you've watched To Be Hero, you probably had to look up and make sure that it wasn't the Arcane studio doing it, because I mean, in the first couple episodes, it almost looks like a carbon copy. Which I think is neither. I don't take points off for that. I think. I don't really give it points for or against that. I mean, I love the Arcane style, and I'm also not taking points away for them from looking like Arcane. But sometimes when they switch up the animation styles, it's nothing like that. So I don't know. Just a revolutionary show, top to bottom. I think some of its weakness lies in some of its characters are just not interesting. So I think just some of the characters are just absolutely not interesting. The overarching plot is kind of uninteresting. But there's just a lot of cool moments. It's revolutionary. It's really cool. And I think Hero X is one of the coolest characters in a hero show maybe ever. Yeah, his power and how he is animated is just incredible, and that episode is etched into my brain. That was amazing. Next, I've got Takapi's Original Sin at number 4. This is a show that makes you watch it. This is a show that makes you look. You have to look at this show. I'm not saying that it's hard to comprehend or anything, because it's right in front of you. There's nothing to comprehend. But this show makes you look at it. For me, I had to finish it. The show is so emotional. There's just so much going on, and depending on what you've gone through in your life, I think a lot of people are going to find something that they resonate with at some point in the show, whether that be you feel like the main character or some of the other characters, or just there's something that a lot of people could resonate with in this show, and just I think that makes it pretty awesome. And it's just an incredible portrayal of how people can feel in traumatic situations, and doing it through the lens of a oblivious, happy-go-lucky character, I think is kind of genius. So yeah, I think Takapi's Original Sin is amazing. And it's got number 4 on this slot. Number 3, it feels terrible to put this here after talking about Takapi's Original Sin, I'm not gonna lie. But I've got My Hero Vigilantes. I was a fan of this manga when it came out, until it finished, and I think the anime just did a brilliant job. The comic style of the animation is amazing. Like almost everything about it, I think, is just awesome. It's just so good. I love the characters. I love the main character's quirk. It's just it's just simple. He simply has Gojo's power, which is awesome. Having Gojo's power but not knowing how to use it is like, I don't know. That's just like a cool concept to me. And the way he uses it is so like silly. Um, and just portraying this world from the point of view of people that are not like in the highest level of power. Not working with the top hero school, not working with the top heroes. I think that's just like a really cool, just a really cool frame to view the My Hero world from. And I know I said I wasn't going to include sequels. I don't really consider it a sequel. It's kind of, it's like its own spin-off. And really it's totally different. So the only really shared thing is that it's a hero show and they have the same power system. That's really, and I guess a couple of characters reappear, which is like a cherry on top, I guess. Number 2, I've got Gachiakuta. Just one of the heavy hitters of this season, or not season, this year. It's the guy in trash. There's not much else to say. This guy is cool. I really like that he's like has like this deep resentment in him. He's got this deep resentment, and he is like has to confront it like somewhat frequently. And yeah, he I don't know. I just think it's presented in such a cool way where he's fighting this inner rage. He's so mad at the world. He's so mad at everyone. He's mad at what people do to him. But he's kind of finding like a place he belongs, and he's learning to not just swing every time something's making him upset. Yeah. I think the power system is pretty cool. Just having an object that makes you strong, or that you make strong with your will, and loving the object is a cool thing. I like that a lot. And my anime of this year is The Summer Hikaru Died. The show is awesome. This show was awesome from like the first 30 seconds. I like just super love it. The romance is amazing, even though I feel like it's kind of low key. Maybe it feels like it has to be low key. I don't know. But it's definitely. I mean, it's obvious. It's very obviously there. I think the horror aspect is really cool. The like romance, horror, mystery. What's going on here? What's going on in this town? What's going on with Hikaru? I think this is great. If you like mystery, if you like horror, if you like romance, this is definitely going to be a show for you. For me, it's the top show of the year. I do think it was not a super stacked year this year, besides, a lot of stacked sequels came out this year, a lot of stacked movies, with the Chainsaw Man movie, with Infinity Castle, like I said, the end of My Hero, the end of an era. All of One Piece coming out this year was crazy. The end of season 1 of One Piece. Yeah, so that's my list for this year. I don't, this is just the order of what I would recommend to other people, just generally from this year. I know everyone's going to have a different opinion on what they liked or what I missed or whatever, but this is just what I liked from the year.